Hello students, today we have to move for the continuation part in the lesson opposition to British rule in India. Till to yesterday, we are discussing about the first Anglo-Mysore War and the second Anglo-Mysore War. I think you know about that what happened in the first Anglo-Mysore War and the second Anglo-Mysore War. Particularly in the second Anglo-Mysore War, Hyder Ali was defeated and died. Okay, yes, the same war will continued by the Tippu. Yesterday only I told you actually Tippu was a very brave, he was a brave king actually, or a brave sultan actually, and he creates the fear in the minds of the people. How the Tippu has created the fear in the minds of the people, that is very important. So how the British used the cunning policies, those cunning policies in the sense I told you already, divide and rule or doctrine of collapse or subsidiary alliance or etc. Okay, so these are all the cunning policies Tippu know very well, and he decided actually at any cost to drive out the British from India. Who? The Tippu. Okay, so for that only he waged the many war against the British by using the modern weapons. Keep in mind, he was the first, Tippu was the first Indian king who used the modern weapons to fight against the British. So which are those modern weapons he has used? He has used the rockets, guns, etc. Okay, rockets and guns, etc. to fight against whom? To fight against the British. Till not the Indian kings, other Indian kings, they are using the swords, but Tippu was the first Indian king who used the modern weapon to fight against the British. That thing was very important actually. And he also tried to break up the monopoly of the British. What the monopoly in the sense here, what the British occupied the whole India and started to rule over the whole India in their hand only. So that is called as monopoly. So that monopoly tried to break up that. Okay, so when he started to use the modern weapons and he waged the many war against them, and in that many wars actually he was get succeeded also, then that creates what he was the fear in the minds of the people. Then the British thought actually he was not an ordinary king like others. He was extraordinary or a brave, very brave king. So thus Tippu creates the fear in the minds of the people. So let us know, after the first and second world war, the third Anglo-Maratha war took place actually between whom? Mysore War, sorry, not Maratha War, third Anglo-Mysore War took place between Anglo in the sense I told you, that is the English versus Tippu Sultan. Okay, English versus Tippu Sultan. I already told you the first and the second, English versus the Hyder Ali. Hyder Ali was the father of Tippu Sultan, and the third and the fourth Anglo-Mysore War were between English and the Tippu Sultan. So what were the causes for the third Anglo-Mysore War? The first one is the politics of the Travancore kings. Travancore, now it is known as Tiruvankuru. Keep in mind. So Travancore is now it is known as Tiruvankuru. So this Travancore kings, okay, so they are the great enemies for the Hyder Ali and the Tippu. Now and then they are making a politics actually. I mean, they are joined with the British, they are allied with the British. Now and then they are giving a torture for the Tippu. And also one more main reason actually, in the second Anglo-Mysore War, British killed his father, Tippu's father, Hyder Ali. Tippu wanted to take a revenge against them. That is also one of the cause for the third Anglo-Mysore War. Tippu waiting for an opportunity to take a revenge against the British. So that is also one of the reason. And also British army captured the Kolar, Hoskote and the Bengaluru, which was under the control of Tippu. British army captured Kolar, Hoskote and Bangalore. So these were the regions were under the control of Tippu by the time. So that was captured by the British. So angered Tippu declared a war against the war against the British, that is called as Third Anglo-Mysore War. Let us know once again recall that what were the causes for the Third Anglo-Mysore War. Third Anglo-Mysore War, the politics of the Travancore kings actually, and the second one is Hyder Ali, British killed the Hyder Ali. Tippu wanted to take a revenge against the British, and the third one is British captured the Kolar, Hosakote and Bangalore, which was under the control of Tippu. These were the causes. And what were the effects of Third Anglo-Mysore War? Effects were, first one is in this actually Tippu lost heavily. Tippu not won the war, British won the war, but Tippu lost heavily, almost he lost everything actually. Then British captured the Srirangapatna. Srirangapatna was the capital city of the Mysore by that time. So British captured the Srirangapatna, and this war was ended with the Treaty of Srirangapatna. Keep in mind. So this war was ended with the Treaty of Srirangapatna. So this treaty took place in the place of Srirangapatna. So that's why it's called as a Srirangapatna Treaty. So this Srirangapatna Treaty was invitable. Invitable means not acceptable. Acceptable it is. Okay. So it is like Nungalarada Tuttu anta heltaralla. So like that it is Srirangapatna Treaty for the Tippu actually. So why it should be like that? According to this treaty, according to the Srirangapatna Treaty, Tippu had to forfeit half of his kingdom. Forfeit means pledge. Had to forfeit half of his kingdom. ಅರ್ಧ ರಾಜ್ಯವನ್ನ ಕೊಡಬೇಕಾಗಿತ್ತು ಅವರಿಗೆ. ಯಾರಿಗೆ? ಬ್ರಿಟಿಷರವರಿಗೆ. According to which treaty? According to the Srirangapatna Treaty. First only he lost everything. Nothing is there with him actually. So in that the Tippu had to forfeit the half of his kingdom, and along with that had to pay the 3 crores as a war damage. 3 crore as a war damage. For that, in that period, 3 crore is a very huge amount. So it was unable to pay by the Tippu actually, because he lost everything. So according to the Srirangapatna Treaty, Tippu had to forfeit half of his kingdom and want to pay the 3 crore as a war damage. So when he was unable to pay, till to pay that 3 crore rupees amount, so Tippu pledged his two son. Pledged means ಒತ್ತಾಯಿಟ್ಟ. ಯಾರನ್ನ? ತನ್ನ ಇಬ್ರು ಮಕ್ಕಳನ್ನೇ ಒತ್ತಾಯಿಟ್ಟ. When he was unable to pay, till to pay, Tippu pledged his 2 sons. That is very important actually. And this treaty is also very important. Srirangapatna Treaty was invitable for Tippu. Explain. Invitable means not expected. Unexpected treaty for the Tippu actually. Tippu, why it is. Okay. Or what were the effects of Third Anglo-Mysore War. Let us recall again what were the effects of Third Anglo-Mysore War actually. Mysore War. Tippu lost heavily. British won the war, and British captured the capital city of the Mysore, Srirangapatna, and this war was ended with the Treaty of Srirangapatna. According to the Srirangapatna Treaty, Tippu had to forfeit half of his kingdom, and he also want to pay the 3 crore rupees as a war damage. Till to pay this 3 crore amount, Tippu pledged his 2 sons. Okay. So this Srirangapatna Treaty has created the very, very, very worst and sufferable situation for the Tippu. Okay. For the Tippu. So that is about the Third Anglo-Mysore War, and the next one is we have to move for the next one, that is the Fourth Anglo-Mysore War. So it was the last war. Fourth Anglo-Mysore War. Okay. So what this also Fought between whom? English versus Tipu. English versus Tipu. Keep that thing in mind. Tipu Sultan. Okay. So, what were the reasons for this Fourth Anglo-Mysore War? So, for that actually Tipu made an alliance with the French and to quarrel to declare a war against the British. Actually, Tipu alliance means, I told you already, make a friendship. Tipu alliance with allied with French. Alliance with French, actually I mean he got the help of the French army to defeat the British actually. Then for this British are angered when Tipu has taken the French help actually. By that time British angered and British imposed to put on by the when he has taken a French alliance or French friendship, British imposed to put on another inhuman treaty, like more than inhuman in the sense very cruel treaty, like Srirangapatana, another one inhuman treaty. Unfortunately, to reject that treaty, to Tipu to declared a war against the British, that is Fourth Anglo-Mysore War. Because this Srirangapatana treaty only, as it is a very miserable treaty for him, very subverable treaty, he can't able to accept the one more treaty, that like inhuman treaty. When the British forced to impose a one more inhuman treaty on the Tipu, then obviously he has, okay, without helpless, he has declared the Fourth Anglo-Mysore War with the help of a French. That is very important. What were the causes for the Fourth Anglo-Mysore War? Tipu made an alliance with the French. I mean, he asked the French to give a French army to defeat the British actually. Then by that time British angered against the Tipu, so that's why they put a one more inhuman treaty. Inhuman means very cruel treaty on the Tipu by that time. So with helpless Tipu declared the war against the British. Okay. So let us see what were the effects of Fourth Anglo-Mysore War. In the Second Anglo-Mysore War, Hyder Ali was died, and in this war, Fourth Anglo-Mysore War, Tipu fought bravely because he was a very brave king. He fought bravely and died in the year 1799. Okay, 1799 in the battlefield only. So when he was died, the Mysore War was ended. Almost what are all the territories are there, Mysore territories are shared with the British Union and the Marathas. Mysore territories were shared with whom? Territories means region, Mysore provisions, okay, or Mysore regions were shared with the Marathas and the British, because Marathas were the great enemy for the Mysore Tipu Sultans, okay. So they are shared each other, the Marathas and the British shared all the territories actually. Then the whole India came under the control of through this Fourth Anglo-Mysore War, the whole India came under the control of British, because they already defeated the Delhi Sultans and everything. Only Hyder Ali or the Mysore army was left. So through this also they got the Mysore also. So that's why the whole India was under the control of British. So this is about the effects of Fourth Anglo-Mysore War. Let us recall again actually. So Tipu fought bravely and died in the year 1799. Through this, the whole Mysore goes to the control of British, and all the Mysore territories are the provisions shared with the Marathas and the British. Took over the control of whole India through this army. So this is the Fourth Anglo-Mysore War effects. Very important wars. First Anglo, Second Anglo, Third Anglo and the Fourth Anglo-Mysore War. And I think you want to understand better. Yes, after this, some small regions, small areas are there, like Chennagiri where it is, that is in Davanagere, Amarasulya, like small places here, small villages or small places. So how the British or how those, they are called as those small provincials leaders are called as the Palegaras actually. So how those Palegaras resist the British ruling or was declared a revolt, declared a war or revolt against the British. Let us know. In that, the first one is Dhandiya Wagh. Keep in mind who is that main person. Dhandiya Wagh. Dhandiya Wagh. So these are all the small Palegaras or small leaders actually who opposed the British rule in India. So or who declared a war or they revolt against the British. That is one important. It is the Dhandiya Wagh. These are all the small provisions leaders. Okay, not kingdoms. Okay, kingdom ruler. Even Queen Chennamma also. She's also only belongs to Kittoru. That is the small provision. Clear? Yes, let us know about the Dhandiya Wagh resistance against the British actually. Dhandiya Wagh, he was from Chennagiri, where he was, his ruling was in only Chennagiri. Where it is Chennagiri? Chennagiri is in Davanagere. Clear? Okay, Chennagiri. So he was called as a Wagh. Wagh means here tiger. Wagh means what? Tiger. Why he was called as a tiger here? Because he was very brave like a tiger. That's why with this name he keep the Wagh. Wagh means tiger. Keep in mind why he was called as a Wagh, because he is very brave like a tiger. That's why he was called as a Wagh. Dhandiya Wagh. So he built an army with the help of the unhappy soldiers of Tippu. Unhappy soldiers. Who are all unhappy soldiers? Unhappy soldiers means why the unhappy soldiers are present in Tippu. After the third Anglo-Mysore war actually, I told you already, Tippu didn't have any amount with him, so the whole kingdom was moved under the loss actually. By that time he removed, he removed the many soldiers. Who? Tippu removed the many soldiers. So when they removed, or when they get the job cut, actually it is a job cut. So when they get the job cut, by that time those are all called as the unhappy soldiers. By those unhappy soldiers only, I mean who removed, by the Tippu, by that team only, Dhandiya Wagh built on a small army with the help of the unhappy soldiers of the Tippu, and many unhappy Polegaras and French also support him to fight against the British. This is very important. I think French are the great enemy of the British, right? Okay, many unhappy Polegaras who are not able to revolt or who are not able to declare a war against the British, those unhappy Palegaras. Palegara means, I already told you, a small provision leader. So many unhappy Polegaras, and the one more is that is the French supported the Dhandiya Wagh to fight against the British. The British army, Dhandiya Wagh was very brave. He was like a tiger. I told you already. The British army attacked him from all the direction. Okay, he was not easily caught by the British actually. So to catch him only, the British army attacked from all the direction. From all the direction means north, south, east, and west, with the help of the Marathas and Nizamas. Marathas and Nizamas are also helped to catch the Dhandiya Wagh. Otherwise, no one will able to catch the Dhandiya Wagh. Okay, so with the help of the Marathas and the Nizamas of Hyderabad, Marathas from Maharashtra, the British attacked the Dhandiya Wagh from all the direction and catch him. Later, he was killed by the British. Okay, So this is about the Dandiya Wag. Once I'll recall you. The Dandiya Wag, he was from Channagiri. Basically, he was called as a Wag because he was very brave like a tiger. So he built one small army with the unhappy soldiers of the Tippu. So many unhappy Polegaras and French supported him to fight against the British for the Dandiya Wag. So when he was become a very stronger or very brave, by that time the British army attacked him in all the direction with the help of the Marathas and Nizamas of Hyderabad. Finally they catched him. Okay, who? The British army catched him and killed him. I mean hanged him. That is very important. So that is about the Dandiya Wag. So tomorrow we have to let to know about the Queen of Chennamma, Rayana, Puttabasappa and Halagali Beda's revolt. Okay. So I think hope you will understand better. So thank you for listening.